Hello and welcome to ComSpark. Today we are in beautiful Columbus, Ohio. I'm Robert Brennan, your guest host for the day, and I'm joined by Maureen Metcalf, founder and CEO of the Innovative Leadership Institute. Maureen, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Robbie, for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here.
Absolutely. So let's dig right in. You have a lot of experience with the leadership community and leadership development focus here in Central Ohio. What are some of the key trends that you're seeing both in tech and in tech leadership?
Well, and so I'm going to answer not only Central Ohio, but in the broader world, what are the trends we're seeing?
Perfect.
And they all apply to Central Ohio. So I just published an article in Forbes, and I do this annually based on interviews I'm doing and the International Leadership Association and data from several different areas. So first, and no one will be surprised about this, but disruption is accelerating. We've heard it, but we're not. The thing that was interesting to me was an interview I did with Mark Kwame talking about the importance of disrupting our own organizations. And the World Economic Forum talks about basically the 4-year time horizon, that 50% of jobs will change based on robotic process automation, artificial intelligence. Again, all the buzzwords we've been hearing, but we're now in the 4-year window. Half of jobs will change. So as we're in the ComSpark conference, well, probably everyone there will change because we're more tech people, and they'll change by about a third. So that's a significant change in job content. So it's not just the technology over in the corner, it's all of the humans that show up to do work will be doing it differently this year and accelerating over the next 4 years.
Makes a lot of sense. A lot of change going on. So when we're thinking about change, what are the key behaviors that tech leadership should be focused on demonstrating as they're kind of dealing with this rapidly changing and accelerating environment?
So if we think about adaptive leadership, that I change myself and my environment, and I think that's the biggest takeaway for me, is many leaders are so focused on getting the work done, they're not also changing who they are and what they lead. So I'm assuming we were just talking about the new iPhones. My guess is you don't have a 5-year-old phone.
No.
Yeah, because they all break before 5 years. But leaders often demonstrate behaviors that were outdated, right? Because our mindsets haven't changed. What we know about just basic brain science has changed a lot of how we think about leading, but many leaders aren't there because they're too busy doing their work, and they don't build into their thought process that changing how I think about leadership is part of my work. And if I'm not doing that, I'm adversely impacting our ability to change quickly.
That makes a lot of sense. I think you've touched on a couple of the points, but what I'd like to know is if you could give some advice to some of our aspiring tech leaders. There's going to be a lot of them listening to this. What would that advice be?
Continue to elevate the quality of your leadership. And we do a ton of publishing. They can get stuff, a lot of it for free. So it's not like I'm saying go buy our stuff, but listen to some of the interviews. Listen to someone like a Mark Kwame or Tony Saldana talking about 70% of digital transformations fail. That's a huge investment of time, talent, and of capital. My political capital and social capital in a company damaged because our disruptions are failing, and people are then less likely to jump in again. That happens to be fairly consistent with the numbers we've seen over the last 20 years of overall transformations failing. So as a leader, learn how to be really effective at this disruption, transformation, build the culture of transformation into your DNA. So look at the culture, look at the systems and processes, look at the behaviors, and look at the mindset. And that's no small feat. Getting those aligned is, I think, one of the biggest challenges, but also one of the biggest guarantees of success. So as leaders, are we developing and are we concurrently making those transformations in the organization?
That's incredible. That's some really great things. I'm sure our listeners will hopefully be able to digest all that and really take that in and take it to heart. Well, thank you for joining us. If you'd like to learn more about ComSpark or hear from more of our innovative leaders, please visit comspark.tech. Maureen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Robert.